episode of Woodburn's Solving Your China Business Pain Points. My name is Christina Kohler-Colucci. I'm the head of business advisory at Woodburn Accountants and Advisors. And in today's episode, we are going to be looking at understanding the VAT and Fapiao system in China. The value-added tax, VAT, and Fapiao system is one of the major sources of revenue income for the Chinese government. VAT applies to the sale of goods, the provision of processing, repair, or replacement services within China. It involves the purchase of goods, it involves the sale of services, the purchase of services, and rates vary depending on the taxpayer's sales revenue, type of goods, and type of sector. In an effort to bring more transparency to their taxation system and tackle tax evasion, the Chinese government has established a strict invoice structure to register any form of transaction. If you have established your entity in China and have a limited liability company, the first category that you'll be designated as is a small-scale taxpayer. As such, in this category, you cannot offset the VAT on purchases that you have made. But if from day one you know that you're going to achieve a certain volume of transactions, you can immediately apply for the general VAT taxpayer status, which is a level above the small-scale taxpayer status. When you are a general VAT taxpayer, you have the ability to reclaim or offset the VAT on the purchases of goods and services. Now, as a small-scale taxpayer, if you hit a turnover of about 500,000 to 800,000 RMB, within a fiscal year, you will be required to upgrade to the general VAT taxpayer status. How this works is that you'll get a phone call from your tax officer who says, oh, you've hit this threshold. We are now requesting you to upgrade to a general VAT taxpayer status. And you have to submit a couple of documents, and within 1 to 2 days, you will become that status. When the tax officer says that you've got to upgrade, you have got to upgrade. There is no choice around that situation. Now, the sum of the 5 to 800,000 RMB is the general threshold in major Chinese cities, but it may vary depending on where you are located in China. What are the principles of your tax district, etc. If you are a general VAT taxpayer, the VAT is payable on a monthly basis, and if you are a small-scale taxpayer, it is payable on a quarterly basis. The most simplified formula of VAT payable equals the output VAT on the sales of goods and services minus the input VAT on the purchase of sales and services. The output VAT, like I said, is what is invoiced to customers, and input VAT is what you have paid to suppliers or third-party providers. If you are a general VAT taxpayer, you can issue VAT special invoices or VAT general invoices. All right. And since April 1st, 2019, we are still at the regular rates that have been applied since then. So what are these rates? Now, as a general VAT taxpayer, the issue of VAT special invoices will allow you to make the various deductions. Currently, the standard VAT for the sale of most goods is 13%. If you are providing services, any form of services, it is at 6%. If your company provides financial services, insurance, telephone, internet, data, IT technology, that is also at 6%. Standard VAT for retail, entertainment, hotel, restaurants, catering services, real estate and construction is at, and transport and logistic is at 9%. In the past years, the Chinese government reduced the VAT percentages, which represents good news for businesses. And many experts predict further changes, possibly going from 3 to only 2 VAT rates. So right now we've got 13, 6, and 9. So hopefully that will go down to just 2 rates. Speed and efficiency regarding tax operations in China have significantly improved as well. So if you were initially designated as a small-scale taxpayer and wish to become a general VAT taxpayer out of your own prerogative, out of something that you want to do, not because the tax officer actually called you, it will only take about 2 to 3 working days to get it approved. And you don't have to pass this 500,000, 800,000 threshold. So if you decide that your business is growing and scaling, and for tax optimization purposes, you want to become a general VAT taxpayer, you have your own right to go and apply for that. Of course, if you wish, you can always remain as a small scale taxpayer, but you won't be able to issue the special VAT invoices on your own. You would have to go to the tax bureau to be able to issue those directly. Now, how the VAT system works is that once you've set up your entity, you go do your local tax district registration. You have a conversation with them about what your business model is, what type of transactions are passing through. You then say, I want to stay as a small scale taxpayer, or I want to be immediately upgraded to a general VAT taxpayer status. At that point, you have to then have a VAT software system, as well as a VAT printer, which prints out all the Fapiaos that are being generated. This VAT software system controls all of the Fapiaos that you are receiving from suppliers and third parties, and it's also going to be recording all of the VAT invoices that you actually issue from your own company. And that way you have it all in one system, and it is basically then printing out what your VAT payable is on a monthly basis. All the Fapiaos you receive have to go in the system. All the Fapiaos you issue have to go into the system. Okay. Now, in terms of VAT Fapiaos, this is obviously where it gets to be a bit confusing, and people don't realize how old-fashioned this system is. So ultimately what happens is when you start off your company, you are given a booklet of Fapiaos, where each sheet in that booklet is worth 10,000, up to 10,000, 9,999 renminbi. Okay, so let's say round it off to 10,000 renminbi. You have a booklet of between 20, 25 sheets. You can apply every month for more sheets if it's necessary, but the tax officer will only indicate to you when you have the ability to upgrade the value of those sheets to the next level, which is 100,000 RMB per sheet. Now, obviously, we are having cases where companies in China are actually transacting quite frequently from day one. They have this limited amount of Fapiao value per sheet. And in order to increase that value, it's going to take a couple of years. Kind of like when you open a bank account in China, they're not going to give you a debit and credit card immediately. You kind of have to show proof of transactional volume that is consistent and is building momentum in order for them to upgrade you and say, yeah, you can apply for a company credit or debit card. It's the same with the VAT Fapiaos. The tax bureau wants to see consistent transactional volume, value over a period of years to then be able to upgrade you to a higher value of sheet. So just to clarify, we do have clients nowadays who have to issue Fapiaos to customers worth more than 1 million RMB, but they don't have enough sheets to be able to do that. Now, one thing I do want to highlight is that nowadays you also have e-Fapiaos that are applicable, and the whole point of the e-Fapiaos is actually that the government wants to move away from the original Fapiao sheets to the actual e-Fapiao system, but they're doing it progressively. There should be an eventual complete switch to the e-Fapiao system. But even with the e-Fapiao system, it's the same concept. There's a value per sheet, and you're limited on the number of sheets that you can issue, right, in terms of the e-Fapiaos that you issue to your customers. So I just want to highlight that as well. So that is a very short and brief analysis of what VAT is, what the Fapiao system is. If you're interested to learn more about that, we've got hour-long webinar sessions up on our YouTube channel that you can take a look at. But this is a really nice and concise 9-minute video to give you a brief understanding. If you have any questions on VAT and Fapiaos, don't hesitate to reach out. We're going to provide you with a link to our diary where you can set up a 15-minute discovery call to see whether we can help you on your pain points. If you would like to learn more about Woodburn, go head on over to our website. It's www.woodburnglobal.com, where you can gain more information on that. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you enjoyed it, please press the like button or share the video. It helps us to get more views and helps us to help more individuals that may be struggling in the Chinese market. Have a great day. Take care. Goodbye.